We are back with a reaction slash recap of Ohio State's dominant win over Michigan State. This was Ohio State's first road game of the season, and it's even more impressive considering that Ohio State arguably didn't have their best rushing or their best receiving threat in this game, with Jackson Smith and Jigba still injured, and they did not have Mayan Williams for this game, although they do expect Mayan Williams to be back before the Iowa game, so it looks like this is only going to be a one-game absence for him at least. We're going to go with the good and the bad thing that I've been doing as of late. So for the good, I mean, the whole game was good, obviously. It was basically a rerun of the Rutgers game again, which, again, heading into the season, when you hear that the Rutgers and Michigan State game are going to look the same, that usually is a good sign of where Ohio State is, but also this also says more about where Michigan State is this season. They are definitely not at the height of their powers this year, at least. More of the good stuff. Ohio State managed to kill the momentum they gave Michigan State very quickly. That pick six leading into the next drive could have been much more worrying than it was. They were able to respond on the very next drive and kind of put their foot on the gas pedal and really make sure that Michigan State didn't really capture that momentum and hold on to it for very long. Stroud's connections with Emeka Egbuka and Marvin Harrison Jr. are just incredible. They're crazy. I know Julian Fleming has gotten in on the action too, but when both Fleming and Jackson Smith and Jigba were out, it was kind of a question of who was going to step up, and we saw it a little bit in the Rose Bowl, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is that guy. He gets like 3 touchdown catches a game. It is insane what he's been doing this season. It's crazy. Emeka Egbuka has gotten tremendous, he's done tremendous this season as well. Again, he was the one who caught that touchdown pass that really stopped Michigan State from having that momentum for more than they had. It was tremendous. The defense was mostly suffocating. Again, when they have 20 points, one of those touchdowns was scored in garbage time, and then the other 7 points came from a pick six. So the defense was, really stout the whole game, with only one blemish in the early in the second quarter. Notwithstanding, the defense pitched a complete shutout, and that was fun. So, with the good stuff, I feel like I'm kind of saying I'm saying the same thing I did last week with Rutgers, where there was a vastly inferior opponent with Michigan State, who, again, they are just awful this year. I don't know what happened to them. I haven't followed too closely. I really hope that those two boosters who basically paid Mel Tucker's extension, I hope they're happy with themselves, because as an Ohio State fan, I want them to make more coaching decisions for Michigan State from now on. But we'll go with some of the bad stuff, starting with a really scary injury to the Michigan State defensive back, Jaden Mangum. Sorry if I'm like messing up that last name, but he got his head with a body landed on his head. His hands went all weird. It's been gross. It's been a gross couple weeks, not just in college, but in the NFL, obviously, with head injuries, and that you never like to see that. I guess the good news is that he has been discharged from the hospital, so hopefully that means it's nothing. I don't want to, it has to be serious, obviously, when that happens, but hopefully it's nothing like life debilitating or too long-term or anything. Hopefully it was just one scary incident, and hopefully nothing else bad happens to him for the rest of the season or in the long-term future as well. We're going to stick with injury news. TreVeyon Henderson went into the medical tent early on in the second half. But the game was pretty much out of reach at this point, so it's not like this was a threat to Ohio State winning the game or anything. But it's not good when both of your top 2 running backs are out with injury. Although we have seen guys like T.C. Caffey, they have gone in and performed well, like that run he had against Toledo. But still, you want to have your best 2 running back options available, obviously. And again, I do want to harp on this. That pick six early in the game does give momentum to the other team. We saw it with Michigan State for a little bit, where they had the crowd going, and the first play I think they got a tackle for loss, and they're all like stomping around and jumping up. It's like, oh man, here it goes. But then again, Ohio State was able to get back on top, mostly because, again, Michigan State is just in a bad way this year. They're bad. I didn't think this would be like a Rutgers game, but apparently it was. I mean, Michigan State is just awful this year. But better teams, I think, both in college football and in this conference, will make them pay for stuff like that. They have a bye week and then maybe a gimme win against Iowa. But then after that, they go on the road against Penn State. You definitely don't want to start that Penn State game off by giving them a pick six to tie the game up, and then getting a bad drive on the offensive side of the ball after that. That's not something that we want to do for other teams, obviously. And we did see similar stuff like that against Rutgers as well, where he had the interception coming out of halftime, Emeka Ibuka with a muffed punt early in the game. So hopefully that these are just isolated instances of bad plays happening at inopportune times that doesn't become a theme of the season, because if Ohio State really wants to fine-tune their offense and really make sure to pack these dominant performances in, they're going to have to seize momentum immediately. They can't yield it to a team like Penn State or in the Big Ten championship game, or if they have playoff aspirations against a team like Alabama or Georgia or whoever gets in the playoffs with them. So anyway, that's essentially it. It was again a dominant win. When I do like the bad things about Ohio State games, I'm usually nitpicking, because that's all you can really do. You can nitpick and say, look, if you do this thing against a better team, then you're not gonna get away with it like you did against Michigan State and Rutgers the past couple weeks. But that's essentially all you can do. So thank you all for watching. If you made it this far into the video, please leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video and like to see more like it. Let me know what you thought about this game and how you see Ohio State moving forward and their chances. Does this offense get even better when Jackson Smith-Njigba and Mayan Williams get back into the fold? Let me know. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you at the next one.